What would you do if you were surrounded by crystal clear blue water? Schools of fish everywhere, your friends landing trophy catches one after another, and you couldn't pull the trigger even once. That's exactly what happened on this unforgettable spearfishing trip. And trust me, it's not what you expect. This is a real offshore adventure packed with big fish, rough waves, missed opportunities, personal records, and one of the most humbling lessons the ocean can teach. Stick with me until the end, because this day out on the water proves that sometimes the best fishing stories aren't about the fish you catch. They're about the ones you don't. We launched early, staring down heavy shore break, knowing we had to power through crashing waves before we could even think about blue water spearfishing. The engine roared, timing the sets carefully, pushing past the breakers to reach open ocean. That first challenge always sets the tone for the day. If you can beat the waves, you earn your shot at the reef. Once we cleared the surf, it was pure freedom, wide open sea, perfect weather, and the promise of an epic day of underwater hunting. Before heading to the main reef, we helped a buddy secure a rope to his small wooden raft so we could tow him safely to the fishing grounds. That's how it goes out here. Teamwork first, fish second. The ocean rewards unity. With everyone together, we pushed offshore toward deeper structure where the real action happens. The water visibility that day was unreal. From the surface, in about 50 feet of water, you could clearly see the reef below, massive coral heads, sandy patches, and fish moving everywhere. It was one of those dream conditions every spear fisherman hopes for: calm seas, crystal visibility, and strong tidal movement bringing life to the reef. You could feel it immediately. This was going to be a big fish day. On one of my early dives, I spotted a solid baena, a strong reef fish, cruising in. It would have been an easy shot, but I hesitated. I was holding out for something bigger. When the water looks that good, and there's so much life moving, you start thinking trophy. You start thinking personal best. And sometimes, that's where the mental battle begins. As I descended, I started having trouble equalizing my ears. The pressure built quickly. I tried slowing down, adjusting, focusing on controlled breathing, but something wasn't right. It felt like sinus pressure blocking me from comfortably reaching the bottom. In spearfishing, equalization is everything. If you can't clear properly, you don't dive. Forcing it can cause serious injury, and no fish is worth that risk. Still, it's frustrating when you know the reef is loaded and you physically can't get down there. Meanwhile, the reef was alive. Schools of colorful reef fish, yellow jacks, coral species darting everywhere, and signs of predators nearby. The current was perfect, strong enough to bring food, but not too strong to make diving unsafe. It was obvious we had hit the tide right, the kind of conditions that produce monster fish. One of the guys surfaced excited, saying he had seen a big one in the area. That changes everything. When someone mentions a trophy fish, the whole crew shifts focus. Every dive becomes more calculated. Every shadow in the blue could be the one. Suddenly nobody is interested in small reef fish anymore. We're hunting giants. Then someone spotted a barracuda, slicing through the water column. Long, silver, aggressive, a true ocean predator. Shots started going off. Fish were being landed. Everyone was getting into action. Meanwhile, I kept trying to send deeper, but the pressure in my head was too much. The signs were clear. If I forced another dive, I could black out or damage my ears. That's when experience has to override ego. Spearfishing is as much mental as it is physical. Watching your friends land beautiful fish while you sit out because of sinus pressure is humbling. It tests your patience. It tests your discipline. But safety in free diving and spearfishing always comes first. I decided not to risk it. I stayed up top, filming, supporting, watching the action unfold. One of the crew suspected the big fish was hiding deep inside a coral cave. He dropped down carefully, staying parallel to the reef structure, scanning every crevice. That's how trophy fish behave. They hold tight, deep in the structure, waiting for the right moment. A few minutes later, the shout came from the raft captain. Someone had taken a shot. We rushed over. By the time I arrived, Joao Batista had already fired a second securing shot. The entire team circled, focused, and ready. When the fish finally came up, it was massive, a giant cabera snapper. Easily a personal record. Thick shoulders, powerful jaw, pure muscle. The kind of fish that makes the whole trip worth it. Breaking a personal best out in the open ocean, surrounded by friends. That's a moment you never forget. Even though I hadn't landed a fish myself, I felt zero regret. Being part of that energy, that celebration, that teamwork, that's the real reward. Spearfishing isn't always about pulling the trigger. Sometimes it's about knowing when not to. Then came the best part of any offshore fishing trip. Cooking fresh catch right there at sea. We anchored up and started preparing a true root-style ocean lunch. Fresh fish clean on the spot, vegetables chopped up, everything going into a big pot to make pareo. A traditional fish stew thickened with farina. No fancy plates. No silverware. Just hands, salt air, and laughter. For some people, luxury means champagne and sports cars. For us, luxury is eating fresh-caught fish with your crew in the middle of the ocean. We even had fresh mango for dessert. Sun overhead, salt drying on our skin. Tired from diving. Satisfied from good food. That's the kind of wealth money can't buy. Eventually, it was time to head back in. The return to the surf is always delicate. The same waves that welcomed us in the morning now demand